Welcome back, guys. Ron here once again, and before we get started, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you are enjoying it, and give it a thumbs down if you're not. So once you watch it, just don't forget, guys, show your support for the channel. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and click the subscribe button and notification bell so you get notified every time we upload a new video. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. All right, so today I wanted to cover something that's very important, guys. Last week we had a lot of great finds. So we had a lot of great finds on our scanner. Some of the members paid off the price of the indicator and scanner literally on day one when CCL just broke out. I believe it was Monday. CCL had a nice breakout, a lot of volume coming into it. Here we go. I mean, it was an easy play, guys. Obviously the volume came in, and it was just a nice solid play when CCL came up. It was, as you can see here, a solid move higher, right? And when we got alerted to it, it was very early in the morning, and when I pushed it out, a couple of the members jumped in, and boom, over $100 and something made for some, and even more for others, depending on the account size, just because we were alerted bright and early that, hey, this is getting a lot of volume, a lot of attention is going in here. So we had a nice solid run. Now, as you get used to trading your plan, you get used to trading, let's say, off of a scan, something that comes up that has a lot of volume, etc. One thing to keep in mind, guys, if it's not a stock that you trade on a regular basis, if it's not a stock that you actually had the time to actually plan out, you have to take things into consideration, and you can't start trading with hope. You can't start praying, hoping that something would come back your way, because you're not familiar with it. The stock in question here, for example, was RAD, which is Rite Aid, right? So Rite Aid was a nice stock. It came up on the scanner, right, on Friday. And even though, let's take a look here. Look at what happened here, right? So this is Rite Aid on Friday. So Rite Aid had a nice, came up bright and early because it did have a lot of volume. As you can see here, it had 870% volume for the day, above normal. So it's like, man, there's a lot of volume going into this stock. So it came up bright and early, but the problem was that it didn't continue. So it didn't continue to move higher, right? So you didn't get those nice solid moves higher, and you also did not get those nice solid moves lower. So when you get this chop zone here where it's just chopping around, that's it. It's time to cut it and leave it alone. Honestly, I wouldn't even give it that much time because it's a stock that I'm not used to. What you want to see is days like what I showed you here. So, for example, when it comes up and it just goes up, it keeps going your way. Yes, it may have a pullback here and there, but it's still, you're still in the green, you're still in the money, you're still making money. You want days like this, you want breakouts like this. When this thing starts alerting you that it's going higher, this is what you want to see. What you don't want to be stuck in is that you jumped in here and then it starts chopping around like this. You do not want to be stuck in chop. You do not want to be stuck managing a position that's on break even or at a loss, because it's just going to stress you out when you could be trading something else that's actually moving, right? It's moving your way. Now, so when something is just not going your way right away, just cut your losses and move on, guys. You can't be praying and hoping and praying so that something comes back your way. And if you're at the point that you're hoping, you're at the point that you're praying, that also means that you just happen to go in a little heavier than you should have. And you need to reconsider the situations. Like, just because something came up on a scan and you've had some success, you know, back to back, doesn't mean you should just all of a sudden say, oh, I'm a master at this, let me go heavy so I can make a couple $1,000s real quick. Because that is the day, that is the time that you're going to lose. Why? Because when it pulls back a little bit and it draws you down, you're not going to be ready for it and you're going to close out. And you could be right. For example, Rite Aid here had a lot of volume. So if you look at the daily, it's like, okay, well, it gapped up and sold off. So now, if this thing does not gap down and sell off on Monday, this thing could very well keep rallying and go over 30 the week that follows. Why? Because this is a lot of volume. I mean, a lot of volume came in. So now, this volume is indicative. It's like, okay, there's two scenarios that can happen here. One, there's a lot of volume that just kicked in, which indicates a reversal is upon us, right? And that reversal will be signified by the gap lower and push lower on Monday and Tuesday. But if this does not gap lower and it actually opens up flat or a little bit higher and it starts to rally, forget it. This thing is going higher. There is no reversal inside. This was an accumulation day. Some people got rid of it. A bunch of other people came in and bought it up. So you kind of have to see what happens next. And this is a good one for you to follow and see what's going to happen. Because at the end of the day, man, it's having a nice, strong, solid push higher. Some people collect the profits here, and then they'll buy it back when it pushes lower a little bit. Obviously, nothing is going to go up in a straight line, guys. Nothing is just going to keep going higher, 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 just because. You know what I mean? It's going to pull back. It's going to have its pullbacks. And it's going to give you those opportunities to buy it. So now, with that in mind, you have to give yourself the time to let things play out. You have to let it, you have to understand how much time do I need for this to get to my target. So for example, let's say your target is 30 and this thing only moves about $1.64 per day, about $3 in a week. And right now we are at 20. So how many weeks do you need for it to get to 30? So that's over 3 weeks, right? At least 3 to 4 weeks. So you're gonna need a month out, month, 2 months out, maybe, just because it moves $3 per week, but that doesn't mean it's just in a straight line. It could be 3, 2.5, 1.5, whatever. It's just moving up and down. So how much time do you really need for it to get to your target? What does this company look like behind the scenes if you're looking to trade this a little bit more on the long term? Right? So that's what you kind of have to start paying attention to, and instead of relying on prayer and hope, because prayer and hope is not going to help you. Execution, guys. Execution is the key to your success. And if you're not fixing and developing your execution, it's just not going to work out. Take the time to study. Take the time to practice more and more. If you're not doing anything, practice. If you're done doing it, practice. You know what I mean? You just keep practicing. Make sure you're putting in some time on demand. Make sure you're putting in some time to just review charts. Just review an hour's worth of charts every single day. Just like I say, make sure you're keeping up with the physical fitness and the mental fitness. Just do a little bit of everything every day so that you get better at this. That's the only way you're going to do it. So that you're not relying on hope and prayer. Because as soon as you say, man, I hope this comes back, or you start praying, that's when you need to realize for yourself. Because again, guys, I can't do it for you. Nobody else is going to point the fingers or push those buttons for you. You have to realize, you know what? I'm wrong, or I'm not comfortable anymore because I'm praying. So that means you just need to take your loss and call it. And yeah, it may come back, but you know what? It probably won't. And, for you to lose a couple thousand instead of just losing a couple hundreds, you got to take that into consideration. Just ask yourself, put yourself outside of the position. And if it was your sister, your daughter, your brother, your mother, your father doing this, what would you tell them to do when you're looking at that position? It's like, hey, man, that doesn't look good. And you got to be honest with yourself, because you'll be like, you know what? That actually doesn't look good. If I were to be jumping into a trade right now, I would not be jumping in the direction that you're in, because obviously you're losing. You'd be like, yeah, I don't think I would be in those calls right now, or I don't think I'll be in those puts right now. So you got to be honest with yourself, guys. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to be honest for you. So, don't lie to yourself. Be honest with yourself and keep your account growing. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to click the thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I will see you guys on the next one.